listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone.
There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change reality.
I believe, as do the other folks that were on the flight, that when we visually saw it, that it was something not from this world.
Goof On Radio.
You were either in or you were either out, brother.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Goof On Radio.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
You're listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
Oh, all right. Welcome to Goof On, everybody. It is Sunday, July the 9th, 2023. How are we? Well, good. It's Sunday, and it is 9 p.m. You guys make me laugh. Boy, I sure hope you're having a good weekend. It's going to be a good show. You guys make me laugh. Why is the show starting so late? Oh, my God. I don't understand this, I see in the chat room. I don't understand. Are you people just saying that to say it? Because every friggin' week I say, Saturday and Sunday, probably, I don't know if there'll be a show, but if there is, I don't know when it'll be. It could be noon, could be 9, could be 10, could be 6. And here we are at 9. Now, starting mañana, tomorrow, the start time for the show is moving 1 hour to 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. It's a change that will happen probably one more time. We're going to go back eventually by next year to 9 p.m. Eastern. And the reason I switched, because we used to be on at 9 Eastern until I moved to Florida and became friendly with the Scambian. And he asked if I wanted to switch to 7 and he could do 9. So I switched with him, but now I'm going to go back. But we're going to go every 6 months. You know, it'll take us 6 months to get there, but we're going to be at 8 o'clock for at least the next 6 months. So starting tomorrow, it's 8 p.m. Eastern. I know some of you are going to be like, hey, you know, that's an hour later, you know, and da-da-da-da-da. Look, I don't like changing times, which is why I'm doing this way very slowly in a 6-month time frame. Sorry, my allergies are so bad. I'm surprised I don't even, like, this eye was like, it was like this like 3 hours ago. I don't even know how it's white. It was completely red, filled with red. I'm like, I'm going to have to wear my little night shades, indoor shades, I call them. Well, anyway, the new time tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. Tonight, we're going to talk about what if there's a real threat and they're not telling us? Because now the threat is back in action. They took about a year off of the threat with very rare communications on the threat assessment, because we got the threat when Lou came around, left TTSA, and was talking about the threat. And then it went away once they got the Arrow office, and the threat now seems to be back. And they have to. They have to have a threat, because without a threat, there would have to be something else. And what else would there be if there wasn't a threat? And I'm wondering if these whistleblowers really know anything at all. Well, what happened? My throat just did like this double manifestation. Like I was getting possessed. What? So we'll have some fun tonight, and we'll get through this hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever we're going to do. And let's do a little bit of roll call, get the show started. Jeanette Angel. Jeanette. With the 10 pound, 10 quid super dono. That's a beautiful dono at the start of the show. No. Thank you. A dono is a donation with no comment or sticker. It's just pure love. See how the space is empty under her name? It's love. We fill it with love here at GoofOn. And you can too. You can support GoofOn the same way. Super chat, super sticker, PayPal, Cash App. All the links are in the show description. You know what to do. And they're also on the About section of GoofOn. If you ever want to know why we're here, go to the About section on GoofOn and find out why. Thank you, Jeanette. Jeanette, the angel of GoofOn, a continuing supporter. Mucho gusto e generoso. Grazie. Grazie. Seriously. All right. Bob Perkins, welcome to the show. D's House Genetics, welcome to the show. Andrea Coran, welcome to the show. Ms. DJ, welcome to the show. Hello, Nathan from the Quantum Show, welcome to this show. Samo, the show welcomes you, my friend. Carlindrum, welcome to the show. Ben, the Yorkshire Goofonian, which is by Staffordshire. Welcome to the show. Shadi, Penorin, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome back. Moody Mongol, everybody. Moody Mongol. Bernie Muro, everybody. The burn. Feel the burn. Muro. Welcome to the show, man. Good to see you. David Wilcox. Not Wilcock. Welcome to the show. Alfie Joe Bob. Welcome to the show. I can see you dancing there with Paula Faust and Diane Bost and Zach Diecast Monzo. Intergalactic Angler. Stabneck. I'm behind. What happened with the reptile airplane stitch? Go back a few days. You'll have to go check it out. Welcome to the show, though, Stabneck. Sky Allen. Welcome to Dan Bob. Welcome to the Who's this guy? What is that? Failing reality, I believe. That's what it looks like. Filling reality. Falling? No. Welcome to the show. You're new here, I guess. Dry Toast. I've seen you. How you doing? Good to see you. Did I say it already? If I didn't, I'm going to say it again. Ms. DJ. Ooh. So nice. They named you twice. I said it twice. Dun-dun-dun. Oh. All right, let's get started. What? Huh? What? Who? Huh? Bernie! Throwing down a $5 super dono, as I just explained. What a dono was, there's more love from Bernie. Feel the burn for $5 super dono. Mucho gusto generoso, Bernie Muro on the dono. Hey, welcome to the show, Jeff Gavi. Jeff Gavi, not Steve, no relation. $5 super dono, that's pure love. We're not ashamed. We do it all here on Goof On. Goof On, a place where you can be yourself and not be shamed. No matter what, who, where, when, why, and how, you are who you are. Whether you're this or you're... You can't see it. And that joke fell. Thanks, Jeff. Mucho gusto generoso, friend. So I see the love. Not ashamed. God, you guys are the best. You know? Even just to let the haters see you supporting Goof On just makes me thrilled inside. Show those haters who's boss. All right, let's get started. Actually, who cares? Right? We're all over that shit. Isn't that amazing? We're so over it. Focus back on the reality. I wanted to get serious with you guys tonight. If you want to lower the lights, you can. Maybe you want to put the kids asleep for a little bit. Maybe get that dog under the blanket because we're going to get real right now. And it's not going to be pretty. You got them asleep? You got the dog under the covers? Give them a Dutch oven real quick. Go ahead. I'll wait. Dutch oven your kids, your dog, your cat? Go ahead. Hurry up. Go ahead, Jeanette. Just kidding. I don't know why I said that. I'm sorry. Are you ready? The aliens aren't nice. No. Just think about this for a second. Apparently, people are being abducted. Let's do this first. If they're being abducted, number one, that is very, very bad. The worst. Taken away from your family, never brought back. 2, being abducted and brought back. What a cruel friggin' psychological thing you can do to someone. Thinking that the ego of the alien, thinking that they can suppress our memories to where we won't remember this shit. And then lo and behold, we see lights on the 4th of July that triggers a memory, and we're going Travis Walton insane. You know, I mean... 3, if the government signed a treaty in, 55, 52, whenever the frig it was, and that treaty ended, which was, aliens can take humans, specific humans, for their experiments, for technology. Nice, right? They want to take whoever they want. We're going to allow them. Do you feel safe? Where do 400 to 500,000 people go in the forests? Every year. Yes, I know about 80, 90% of them come back. but they don't all remember how they just disappear. 40,000 people disappear every year. 40,000! That's a lot of people. And that's not even all the reported ones. There's probably another 10,000 in there somewhere. I don't know. Maybe not. But just imagine a stadium full of people. Let's just round it up, because we round up here at GoofOn. 50,000. 50,000 people. Let's just say, I don't know. You want to look it up? Let's do it real. Because people may go missing, but what they don't tell you on that 411 show are the people that come back. How many people go? I'm just going to say in America. How many people go missing in America yearly? Okay, wow. Every year, about 600,000 people are reported missing in the United States. California tops the list at 2,133 missing persons reported, followed by Florida, 1,200. Well, no wonder. And then Texas, 1,246. These states have the largest populations in the U.S. How many people actually go missing? All right. There are 4,400 unidentified bodies discovered every year. That means only 0.7333% of people who go missing are found and unable to be identified. The others are either found or they are not. How many people are still missing in the United States? Hundreds of thousands of people go missing in the United States each year. Most are eventually found, but sadly, a large group remain unaccounted for. According to the U.S. Department of Justice's National Missing and Unidentified Persons System, there are 22,740 people missing in the United States as of February this year. Anyway, not as many as I thought, but not far off. That's a lot. So just imagine the aliens are going around the world. Taking whatever, you know what I mean? I don't appreciate that. Whoa, Dorothy! Holy smithereens! Dorothy Hawkins, welcome to the show with a $10 super dono. I don't know what to say. Thank you? My gosh, that is really super generous of you, Dorothy. Thank you for that. You are a continuing supporter, great friend of the show, big sister to me, and I love you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And then also, oh wow, Hungry Dragon, bringing the love to GoofOn on PayPal with a $55.55 PayPal support. Bro, that is really awesome, man. I'm touched, actually. Just I don't know why I get emotional. Just weird. I don't know. It just happened. Thank you very much for that support. You didn't have to do that. Thank you, everybody. Seriously, thank you very much. My friggin' allergies. They're so itchy. It's like I bought allergy medications, like $8 a bottle. It's a Bausch & Lomb allergy. It's really good though. And my eyes were really red. Like, I can't believe they're not red, but it does stop the itching, but not completely. They just water and water. It's like a runny nose. Dorothy, thank you very much. Hungry Dragon, thank you. That was a weird experience. Yeah, I don't know. I can't explain emotions, man. They just, sometimes they hit you and you don't know why. That was strange. It was just, I have to blow my nose. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm leaking like a faucet over here. All right. So, emotions aside. 4. 3. Remember, we did 3. Aliens abducting us, right? Without our consent. I'm talking about the threat is what I don't know if there's a threat afoot. Okay. If you look and piece together the history of things that have been told to us by said whistleblowers, by said abductees, by people in the know, etc., 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 blah, blah, blah. If you piece together what they say, to me, the aliens don't sound very nice. They sound very demanding. It sounds like we're intimidated. We know they could annihilate us, maybe. But to actually have a contract, supposedly, with the aliens to abduct not everybody, but specific types of people in exchange for technological advancements. After all this time, 60, 70, 65 years, whatever it is, since that contract was signed, where's this technology that's going to be world changing? I'm talking I'm not talking the internet. I'm not talking lasers or discs we don't even use discs anymore, right? I'm talking, where is this technology that is supposedly being advanced by humans from aliens that has been given to us in pieces over the years to advance our civilization? I haven't seen shit. Excuse my French, but I took French. Okay, merde. M-E-R-D-E is, I believe, the word shit in French. Merde. Maybe, just maybe, all of the technological advances go to the government. So when do we, the people, never? We don't get any of it. You see why I don't trust the government? You understand, right? I know you do. Why do you want to trust them now with the whistleblower routine? What makes you think things are different? Nothing's different. This is a charade. And when it all stops and disclosure doesn't happen, and we're sitting here waiting for an extinction level event or contact or death, and we're sitting here and nothing is being advanced as far as we could see, as far as technological advancements, we still will not know if we're alone in the universe unless we make it to Mars and find a fossil or something. It just seems like we're spinning in one place. And I think the whistleblowers are just in my opinion, I don't find them credible. Yeah, sure. Maybe they were worked in a few programs here or there and have seen pictures of stuff and this and that. But if there were aliens here and they did have an advanced technological, if they did have this, I don't know if we'd be able to back engineer something so far advanced we couldn't figure it out, or have the material here on Earth to make it work. It could be they could have come up with some completely foreign way of doing things. So if you really want to get down to it, what is the most logical thing? What makes sense? Occam's razor. All right, let's go with what makes the most sense. Aliens found, I don't know how they would find Earth, but I mean, it's possible, but we are so small and so hidden. It would be a miracle for anybody to find life here on this little planet. If you were to look at our solar system from a distance, you wouldn't even see Earth because the sun would overshadow it. You know, it's so bright you wouldn't see the blue dot. You wouldn't see it from Andromeda. You know what I mean? So, unless they have some sort of telescopes that can see everything. Of course they do. They're aliens. They could be billions of years ahead of us. I forgot where I was going to go. I was going to say something and I totally went off. It'll come back to me. I could feel it. It'll come back. I just don't see anything. I just don't see any evidence. And this may be one of the reasons why I think the whistleblowers only know so much. Everything's compartmentalized, right? Somebody knows everything. Somebody has to know everything. There has to be. And I don't mean just one. It's probably 5 or 6 people. And then from those 5 or 6, there's probably a handful, maybe 1, 2, 3 people in the military that know about the program, that run programs based on unidentified objects. Secret black budget money goes into that type of a program. I mean, unless it's put into a bill for funding and called a defense act of intergalactic federations. They make up shit all the time for funding. And that's and that's why I don't trust the government. So I think what I was going to say was, we have more whistleblowers coming out, right? And apparently, according to the people in the know, which really don't know, they're only in the know because that's what the people in the real know let them know, you know? So what's going to happen when the tip of the iceberg turns into a melting mountain of whistleblowers? I haven't heard one person say that the whistleblowers are bringing evidence. Not one. Not Rose Cuckold. Not Ding Dong Gorbel. Not Crapster. George Crap. I mean, no. None of those people said the whistleblowers that are coming forward next are going to bring incredible evidence. I heard not one. You know why? Because there is none. There's no evidence for you or me. And let's go back to the evidence they've shown us. Shall we? Go back just a little bit. Go to the Jeremy Corbell Mosul orb. And then the orbs they showed us in the congressional hearings. And what were those deemed to be. Balloons, drones. That's the type of evidence they're going to give us, stuff that we just can't figure out. The details a little too grainy, a little too pixeled, a little too far away, a little too blurry, a little too bouncy, a little too shaky. Not enough stability. It's all over the place. I don't know why. Every UFO video is like that because the objects are moving. But now, with the evidence that they've collected from these spy planes and what they're showing us, doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, something's wrong. Why don't they show us something with a little more detail? If this is all they've got, and that's what they're coming out of the gate with, is it going to get better or worse? As far as I know right now, everything they've shown us supposedly has been debunked as planes, trains, automobiles, paper bags, satellites, boats, everything. Jeremy Corbell still fighting hard about his 29 Palms flare event that he's saying is a UFO. I mean, this is beyond ridiculous. Beyond it. Mick West is doing 360 degrees triangulation that's showing they are flares. It's really, we're desperate for, I can't speak. I just can't speak. We're desperate for evidence. And apparently the whistleblowers that are coming out don't have any. Because if there was evidence, they would be pumping up the next whistleblowers. But they really can't. Because I'm not even sure they know who the next whistleblowers are going to be anyway. I mean, they have a list of people I heard. But who it's going to be? I don't know. Lisa Bowden. I think the phenomenon, it's $10. Thank you so much and welcome to the show. She says, I think the phenomenon is something the government made and it got out of control. Maybe it's, you know why also? Great point, actually. And thank you for that. It's because of the internet. It's social media. Yeah. And how about the game being played during all the whistleblower action? You know, News Nation, who did the interview with Grush, that's the parent company of George Knapp's KLAS TV in Vegas. Isn't it funny that those two 8 to 10 foot tall aliens happened a month before Grush's interview and they held on to it and it just happened to be in George Knapp's backyard from the sister or parent company of his news station? It's crazy. The odds of that happening in Las Vegas are astronomical. Astronomical. And they're pushing it. And they're still, these are the worst. These people are terrible what they're doing. And Rose Cuckold is a problem. Only because he's reporting, but this guy, Ross, I'm talking about Ross Cathard, or however you say her name. She's like the next George Knapp of ufology. Rose Cuckold. Yeah. You're right, Lisa. It got out of control and people realized they can make careers out of this. And I don't know what... I just don't trust that the government's going to allow whistleblowers to say, hey, alien bodies, we know where they're at. Come check it out. They're over here. And they never show us? Something's wrong. Thanks, Lisa. Good point. Thanks for the support too. Appreciate that. Shane Reed, everybody, $11.11, a super chat. Thank you, Shane. You don't have to do that. Rich, you know, I know, and most of the people in this room knows the time is coming. No! For what? What? Do you know how long? I've been hearing that my whole life. And since I've been in this field nearly 20 years, I've been hearing that every day. I see it somewhere. Somebody, somehow, on social media, on the internet says, the time is coming. Disclosure is near. The whistleblowers are giving us the evidence. Time is now. Shane, no, it's not. But I hope you're right. I do. Shane, I can't agree with you. I just can't. I don't know. I don't believe it. Maybe the room and you guys do. Yeah. Your point, maybe you're right. Maybe, well, you said I know. I don't know. I know nothing. You know what I know? I know that what's going on doesn't make sense. Have you ever had a friend? We've all had friends that you get all types, right? You got all different people in your lives. And there's always that one person you know who says, man, I'm gonna do this and that, and I'm about to make a big deal, and I've invested all this into this, and I'm gonna be rich, and I'm writing this, and it's coming, and you know that person where they're always doing something to make a quick buck, but nothing ever happens or pans out. That's what's going on with the government. It's all pomp and circumstance, and I don't even know if that's the right term to use, but it's all window dressing. I think that's even better. Or it's like the mob. It's a storefront for reality. And they use the media to propel their narrative out to the world, and people who don't know, they just believe it because what do they know? Why would they lie? Why would they? That's what the public sees right now. The public sees these whistleblowers. They don't care about what we think. Who gives a shit about what Gufon thinks, or Third Phase of Moon, or even Greer for that matter, or anybody? They don't care what the community thinks, because if they did, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing this way. But they only care if they can trick and manipulate the government officials, Rubio and the others. I'm not going to I can't remember all their names. Burchett, some others. If they can manipulate the public into believing there's a threat, and now they're manipulating us into believing there might be a cover-up, which we've been hearing this for 78 years. So why that's a new thing. And that there's bodies and UFOs held in a... Yeah, we've been hearing that forever too. And I said this the other night. Grush said nothing new. So why are we acting like this is groundbreaking, unbelievable news media outlet type of bullshit? What the hell did I just say? I don't know. What am I? I'm drinking Ghost. It's sugar-free. It tastes great, by the way. But it does give you good energy. But I can't think. I can't talk. Shane, thank you very much. 1111, my favorite numbers. Thanks, brother. I just can't agree. But it's okay. I hope I'm wrong. Bernie Miro with $2. Super dono. That's a dono. Magical love here tonight on Gufon. Bernie Miro throwing it down again. Mucho gusto generoso, my friend. What's that? No. And no. All right, let's move. So my dispensary, check this out. Thanks, Bernie. My dispensary gave me a one of the dispensaries I go to, gave me this pin. Check it out. Now, this guy just handed it to me. I go, what did you just put in my bag? He goes, oh, it's a pin. And I go, let me see what that is. This is really strange. It's the letter G, and it's almost like goof on, right? You know what I mean? It's almost like it. This may be my new logo. I'm coming up, but the G would be capitalized. But I think I'm making a new logo. It's going to be the same, but mine is so close. See down there in the bottom? It's so close to NASA. Here, top right. See what I mean? Top right. So I may alter it. I love my logo, really. I don't know if I want to change it. But I like this one as an alternate. So I may have an alternate coming up. I just thought it was like, what are the freaking odds that it's the letter G, and it's very similar to NASA's logo, but it's really unbelievably. I tried putting it on, and for some reason I was just not aligning the stick. I don't like having that up in the corner. I don't know. It's on the replay, you know where you're at. I don't need to have the goof on symbol up there, logo in the corner. All right, I need a drink. Tomorrow's show, I want to talk about the Hearn. The Hadron Collider discoveries. I don't know what I said right there. Hearn? Chick Hearn? If anybody knows Chick Hearn. The Hadron Collider has made some really interesting discoveries this year. And some weird things have gone awry, which I think are very important for new discoveries that they're making scientifically over there. Holy mackerel. And I also want to talk about tomorrow this UFO that is supposedly hidden under a building. They build a building around it. And I'm just embarrassed that we even have to talk about it tomorrow. But you'll see. We'll talk about this imaginary UFO hidden under a building, the shape of a UFO. Like, if you're going to hide a UFO in a building, you're not going to make it the shape of the freaking UFO, you dummies. And that's that Rose cuckold. Rose cuckold is very, very bad. I'm serious. You don't see it. But I'm telling you, snake in the grass. And I have never said that about anybody but David Wilcock, right? Because he is a snake in the grass. And Corey Good, and also Anjali. Snake in the grass. No, he is a snake in the grass. Hey, what's up, Into Thin Air, Bad Boy Channel, Skinny Barbarino, hey, Lunar Sparkles 1, Anthony Da Vinci, Wood Elv, everybody. How's everybody doing? Sergey, how you doing? What's this? Yes, I call her Rose Cuckold, but I may have to stick to Ross Cuckold because people will be like, who's Rose? But deep down, it is Rose. But you're right. Rose Cuckold is the official name for Ross Cuthert because he is toting the line for the narrative, the government narrative. He's hook, line, and sinker now in this field, 100% lock, stock, and barrel, bringing the lies, grifting along. This guy, him and Bryce Zabel, they act like they've been in this field forever. And it is hysterical to listen to these two greenhorns of ufology talk It blows my mind. They toe the line for that side of ufology, and there's no turning back. They are done for. And good for them. Hey, you're making a career out of lies, misinformation, disinformation, and you are a typical... I'll lose half my audience if I say that. You know what I mean? Oh. Oh, I already set up the show for today. I forgot. I did this early. That's right. So, one of their good friends of Ross Cuckold is Eric Davis. And Eric Davis apparently is the guy that filled Grush's head with everything he said. Him, Greer, Corbell, but mainly Eric Davis. Now it all makes sense. And I see people saying that on Twitter and whereabouts. And Paranormal Chris, who I really think is coming along on Twitter, said Eric Davis, the one that groomed David Grush, is the one that spoke with Marco Rubio. Well, that makes sense too. That makes sense too. Why are see, here's what I don't understand. Marco Rubio apparently got some information, and this is what Rose Cuckold says, and others confirmed it. So I guess it's true. But Rubio apparently saw some things that convinced him that what these whistleblowers are saying is true. I want to see that. Why would he, of all people, be allowed to see that? Because he's a government guy? So he handled it. He's alive. He didn't go crazy. He didn't lose his mind. But I tell you what, I think Rubio has been bought, more or less. But Rubio didn't need to be bought this way. He was bought this way. Because I see Rubio's a very smart guy. But when it comes to ufology, everybody starts out the same. Now, what makes one person believe and another one need evidence to believe, it's this much. That's all it is. We're that far apart, but yet it feels like miles. But the usual suspects, it's the same, he says, it's the same usual UFO suspects that are always on the outside trying to look in. And Joe Merja, remember Red Rum Joe? He says Eric Davis is the one that told Rubio in the closed door session with the Senate Intelligence Committee that the people in my task force, the UAP task force now, the ONI, our people believe that these are off-world vehicles. That was a quote from Danny Sheehan about what Eric Davis said. You see, hearsay. Hearsay. Sheehan said Eric Davis said it, even though we all know Eric Davis groomed Grush. This is so hysterical. Don't you get it? So then you have to ask yourself, what is this all for? Why all the pomp and circumstance if it's not real? I don't know, man. But history tells me it's always led by money. Now, I mentioned this the other day. All these people that are retired military with high ranking, these guys get huge retirement benefits. They really don't even need to work another day in their lives if they just live off their retirement. But how boring would that be? So why not get a side gig? Something where you can make anything on the side. That's easy. You don't have to do much work. And everybody will love you. Well, most everybody. But it'll make you feel important. People will think you're doing something good. So why not be a whistleblower? I don't think it's like that. I do think that they look for certain people in the military or working in government that can help them with the narrative they want put out there. See, Grush is an unsuspecting victim in all of this. He doesn't know it yet, but he's not going to be very happy in the future. All this shit, it won't do him any good. He's not looked at as a hero. He's a hearsay guy. And everybody feels like we've been bullshit on, lied to, being played with. You want to know why? Because it is. What was the purpose of bringing him out when everybody knew it was hearsay? Because of his high ranking, because people liked him, because he's a nice guy, because he speaks well. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, check, yes, check, check, check. All those things I just mentioned are perfect for television. Mainstream media takes a certain amount, takes a certain character to do what Grush did. You have to like speaking in front of a camera to do what he did. He loved it. You could see how excited he was to be there, talking with his newfound friend, Rose Cuckold. But the whistleblowers should know, right? Oh, yeah, it says it right here. Yeah, so I'm right because it says it. They should know if we have a threat. I think the aliens are threatening. I do. I think the shitstorm, if anything's going to happen, disclosure is not going to happen the way you want it to happen, the way I want it to happen. I think disclosure, if it does happen, is going to be an alien threat. Yes, I said it, but of epic proportions. You want to hear something silly? You know how, I'll just talk about it tomorrow. It was about that hidden building over a UFO. I was surprised when they said it was where it was. Where did they say, in China or some, I don't know, some another part of the world. But apparently I did a little show on the Dreamy Draw Park, the Dreamy Draw Dam in Phoenix, Arizona. It's a dam in the middle of a place where a dam wouldn't be. But apparently a UFO crashed there and they built a dam over it because they couldn't move it. And I thought that's what they were talking about when they originally brought it up. And then when I found out it's this other place that it's round, I'm like, shut off. Who cares? Stupid. Freaking, oh, it looks like a UFO, so it's gotta be. The whistleblowers should know, but they don't. Nobody's talking about it. Not one. Hold on. I am going to pull up. Oh, yeah, that's right. Do you know Greer said it over a month ago about the UFO that had. I have to talk about that tomorrow. South Korea. South Korea downed huge UFO with an energy weapon and had to carve outside of a mountain to contain it, is what Greer said. Wow. Sounds like what happened in Arizona. You know that crash in Arizona happened in 1947, same year as Roswell. Check it out.
Had dealt with a facility outside Seoul, South Korea, where there was a huge extraterrestrial vehicle that they had downed with apparently some type of electronic warfare system that was they had to carve out a huge part of the mountain just to contain this object because it was too big to move to any other site.
What?
That it is still there. So this is just sort of like, the very had dealt with a facility outside Seoul, South Korea, where there was a huge extraterrestrial vehicle that they had downed with apparently some type of electronic warfare system that was they had to carve out a huge part of the mountain just to contain this object because it was too big to move to any other site, and that it is still there. So this is just sort of like, the very had dealt with a facility outside Seoul, South Korea, where
That was really weird. So you hear Greer saying that, right? Downed a huge craft with an energy weapon. You know what's weird? I look for UFO stories, new and old. I've never heard of that until now. The one that Greer just mentioned. Never. 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 Capiche? We are here tonight, Sunday night. Tomorrow, we will be starting the new time, Monday through Friday now, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. Do you believe in your whistleblowers? Do you believe in your mainstream media? I think tomorrow I am going to open up the GoFund link to the show and ask you guys intimately tomorrow. Not tonight. Mañana. Why tomorrow? Because tonight I don't want to do it. All right, let's you know what the I was hoping there was an Into Thin Air video, but there is not. And I was looking to see if there was a Third Phase of Moon video, and there is not. So let's just move along. You know what? Other than News Nation and other, as far as podcasts go, pound for pound, GoFund is on 6 nights a week, 2 hours a night, sometimes a little longer, sometimes a little less. Nobody works hard or as hard as we do. I'm telling you. And we all do it together. I get so many ideas from you guys. And we have great conversations when you guys bring up something I couldn't think about. That's why I want to. Remember a few months back, I said, I'm going to incorporate people and start bringing people in the show. And then I'll do 1 or 2 shows and then I won't do them for weeks. Bringing people on. Well, the reason is it's the same 5 people. So if there's a way we could have a lot more people be brave, You don't have to show your face when you come on here. You can just speak. All you got to do is just tell us what's on your mind. That's it. Instead of chatting or screaming at the screen or yelling at me in an email, just come on the show and say, hey, what are you talking about, dummy? It's very rare, though. I very, very, very rarely get people wanting to debate in an email. This is how most emails go. They say, I agree with most everything you say, but nobody can agree on everything 100%. It's always that way. Nobody says you're 100% wrong. I mean, it's happened, but we're talking over 17 years of doing this show. And it's very rare. A lot of people who listen to Goof On and shows that talk this way about the narrative not being 100% correct, there's a lot more of us out there, but you guys just aren't voicing yourselves. You're not sharing the information. You guys can take any part of my show, clip it up, and share it. The parts that are deep, an hour within the show, if you found interesting, you can always share it. If you were on the show, share it. We got to get the message out there that we are being lied to. I'll change my mind the day they give us evidence, good evidence. When that day happens, everything changes. And I play fair. But let me tell you this. If they say they're showing us video evidence and it's not in high def next time, or a video that lasts more than 0.8 seconds, or a video that doesn't look like a blurry balloon, drone, or bird, or night vision, thermal vision, infrared, FLIR. Hey, Rish, Jaime, I don't want to talk to you. Okay. We need real evidence. Until then, why should I believe? The government's been lying to us for 80 years pretty much. And now all of a sudden, because they're saying stuff that you like to hear, actually the government really isn't saying anything. The whistleblowers are. So let's not, especially me, I better not get ahead of myself, because these are people who worked for the government, not the government themselves. The government's not saying shit. They're denying a lot of stuff. Tomorrow's show I got ready too. That's right. I set both shows up and they're back to back. All right. So with everything I've been saying tonight, a supposed contract with the aliens, if that has ended, which it did a year or two ago, right? The contract with the aliens that was signed with Eisenhower, wherever the frig he was, has ended. So is that why the government's scrambling with whistleblower evidence here? Fake evidence, no evidence, half evidence, hearsay evidence. Is that what's going on right now? I met Robert Dean. You know, Bob O'Dean, Robert O'Dean, as some people call him, because he lived in Arizona. And I went over his house, interviewed him before, hung out with him for a couple of hours. The whole time I sat there and met this guy, I'm like, he's so full of shit. I just didn't have the balls to tell him. And people love this guy. And here I am, fresh out of ufology 101. And I'm sitting with this guy. Well, I've heard his story, seen him speak, and I'm talking to him. And all I could think of is bullshit. Why do people like this guy? Everything about this guy is wrong. Bob Odin, in my opinion, towed the line for the lie, right? And believed the same things that we're hearing today. Nothing's changed in 40 years minimum. It's been forever, but just listen to Robert Odin. I mean, when I kept saying, come on, Mr. Odin. Come on, we need evidence, brother. We are a hybrid race, he says. This guy has the biggest ego. Well, he's dead now, but had the biggest ego.
Sharing some of this information with you, I am in the process of violating my national security oath. The planet Earth is...
Sound familiar, Lou Elizondo? Grush? Come on, nothing's changed.
And has been the subject of an extensive, detailed study by several extraterrestrial civilizations. The human race is a hybrid. We were seeded here, and we have had an intimate interrelationship with high technology, advanced intelligence for hundreds of thousands of years. It hasn't stopped. They are still involved. I'm not trying to frighten you, but I'm trying to say to you that in the next very few short years, you're going to be experiencing things that are going to literally change your life in ways you have never dreamed or imagined. And you better be ready for it. Sharing some of this.
And he said that 30 years ago, right? He's been saying it for longer. In just a few short years. Hey, Bob, is that 2 or 3 or 40 to 50? See what I mean? Go back in time, listen to the bullshit artists, and it's all the same song and dance. Nothing's different. It's all the same. We're a hybrid species. We've been seeded here by the Nephilim and the Anunnaki and boop. And then they made us to be slaves on the planet for hundreds of thousands of years. Yeah, hundreds of thousands of years and extinction level events destroying humanity several times. Why, if they're so advanced? Well, you can't stop nature. Sure you can. If you look at everything, it's all the same. Nothing's changed. You know what's different? The people. The people. I want you to listen to what he said one more time, because this is the same thing. It hasn't changed. And this guy just said in a few short years, that doesn't sound like a couple of decades. And this was 30 years ago he said it. And nothing's changed. It's so sad. Poor ufology. Poor little liars.
Information with you, I am in the process of violating my national security oath. The planet Earth is and has been the subject of an extensive, detailed study by several extraterrestrial civilizations. The human race is a hybrid. We were seeded here, and we have had an intimate interrelationship with high technology, advanced intelligence for hundreds of thousands of years. It hasn't stopped. Bullshit. They are still involved. I'm not trying to frighten you, but I'm trying to say to you that in the next very few short years, you're going to be experiencing things that are going to literally change your life in ways you have never dreamed.
Shut off. See, I hate that shit. Sounds like what Greer does. We're going to experience technology that is going to be changing humanity in such ways that we will be able to grow an arm back if it was chopped off. Don't forget, Greer with the ear equals lie. Anytime Greer puts a finger in his ear, he will do it several times. And he always says it around the important topics that he's talking about. You know, people get killed, right? And then And then he goes, and we've got special armed forces around the world breaking into, and then he does this again. And then he says, my so-called sources tell me that there's going to be an extinction level event by aliens any day now. Greer's so full of himself. I'm sorry, Dorothy, if you're still here. But Greer's just... No. I don't... See, people think I support Greer. I support his movement for disclosure. Anything he's doing for disclosure, I want. And let me tell you something. That CE5, so what? I used to be the same way. I used to say, what a stupid people going out there trying to make contact with aliens, spending all this money. But if you look at the people that do that shit, those are people who have money to spend. And they, $1,500 for a week or 10-day experience doing CE5, to them is worth it. That's like $100 to them. And I know because Cousins brothers were there with Greer for 2 weeks filming everything. And all those people there were very wealthy people, young and old. So get mad at Greer, scream and yell all you want. Greer is not ripping people off. The guy's at least, look, even though he's full of shit on a lot of stuff, I haven't talked to aliens and I've tried, but maybe I'm not chosen. Maybe I don't know how to do it. Maybe I'm not vibrating at the right level just yet, for whatever reason. 20 years of trying. Some people might have the ability. That's the whole thing. And some people feel they have the ability. So they go on these retreats and they learn. Is this real? Do I believe this guy? Or is it all bullshit? And those people who spent that $1,500 to go on a retreat for CE5, that's their lives, their money. They can do what they want. They're adults. Greer's ripping people off. He's a grifter. He's grifting. I'm not going to lie and tell you that I don't think Greer is addicted to all of this. I know he is. I've seen his ego. Greer loves to be the guy. That bothers me about Greer. Because I think his ego speaks louder than the truth. I think the guy tries a little bit too hard, but at least he's trying. And at least he's got credible whistleblowers. And at least he's got a credible history in the Disclosure Project, more credible than any of the people we see today. So call Greer a grifter all you want. I'll do it too. But when it comes down to it, nobody's doing more for ufology. Other than maybe like John Greenwald is working hard and some other people. But as far as getting down and getting dirty and trying your hardest to meet the people in the know that know what we don't know, you got to give Greer credit for that. Grift or no grift. He's doing something. All right. Tomorrow. I wish today was tomorrow. I've got so much to talk about tomorrow. All right, I'm going to get rid of that. Uh-oh. What's this? What? I believe holy crap, what's going on here? This just popped up on my Reddit thing. It says a month after Leslie Kean and Sam Blumenthal's debrief article on David Grush was published, and Rose Cuckold's News Nation interview was broadcasted. This interview on the Ezra Klein show is the only coverage that the New York Times has provided on Grush's explosive allegations. I believe, this person says, that the refusal of powerful mainstream media news outlets to adequately cover this topic is no accident. I suspect that flying saucers threaten all terrestrial elites, but not necessarily the Earth's people who deserve peace, security, prosperity, environmental protection, and open contact with the non-human intelligences responsible for what we are now calling UAP. Let me see. Oh, wow. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm going to play this section. This right here. Now I understand what... I didn't know that was this interview. Listen to this. I've already listened to it. I didn't know that was the guy's name.
Reporting also bears out, this program is very small. It's funded by about $22 million from Harry Reid. It's a little bit of a backwater. I think sometimes people have in their heads, and maybe this will come back in later, the idea of a big Men in Black conspiracy. But if anything, it seems like it was very hard for people to get the Pentagon actually interested in this.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it was small. And that $22 million was actually, it wasn't just for this program. It's a complicated situation because it was actually provided to this DIA program that preceded it. But they were very closely linked. So we didn't go into a lot of detail on that because it's just confusing. But yes, it was a small program. And the reason Elizondo resigned was because of what you just said, that not enough resources were being devoted to it. And he felt that it was a national security problem.
Felt it was a national security problem. Unbelievable to me. You know, everything's subjective. If somebody else was in that role, in that position, would they feel the same? Wusha says, Grush, thank you for the comment and hanging out at GoofOn. Grush has passed on to the appropriate congressional members with the appropriate clearance. Just not you and me and the rest of us, yet he's following protocol. Yes, he is following protocol to a T, so he doesn't get in trouble. But for some reason, they didn't like what he did. And that interview has been removed from News Nation, all other channels that posted it, shared it. Why? And why is there a little bit of backlash on what he said? It's almost as if he didn't follow protocol precisely. But they can't go after him. You want to know why? Because it's hearsay. Loophole, oops. Yeah, we should call loopholes oops holes. Because, oops, they know what they're doing, Whoopsa. I'm sorry, Woosha. They know what they're doing. And even though we say he's following protocol, how do we really know? We don't know. We can only go by what they tell us. And they know it. Because we don't know. We're not in the know to know. So to say he's following protocol, it looks that way, right? I mean, that's what we've been told. And that's the problem. You know that, right? He followed protocol, but we need somebody who's not going to follow protocol. Protocol means what? You're doing what you're told. You're following protocol. And if you're doing what you're told, you're doing what the government put down as rules and protocol for what you can say. Yes. Or no, I don't think Grush signed an NDA because he's not a first-hand whistleblower. Capiche? So we can say what we want about Grush, but everything about that whistleblower is bullshit. That's why he was a hearsay blower. I don't know why people think Grush did anything magical, did anything brave. If he's following protocol, he didn't do anything brave at all. As a matter of fact, he bent the knee further. Well, he's limited because let's not forget, hearsay is not first-hand accounts. So, Grush sucks. What Grush did was give the illusion. Listen to what I'm saying. This is very important because it's the freaking truth. You and I, Wusha and everybody, we get it because we follow it. But let's not forget, everything that's on mainstream media is for the general population that doesn't follow UFOs. So what looks like a real whistleblower coming forward saying there's aliens and this and that, that's it. People don't read the article. They see it on the cover of a magazine or the link of a title of a video or picture or article. They don't read the story. They don't get into it because it's in the title. Alien bodies, whistleblower claims, wow. But they don't know it's a hearsay whistleblower who really didn't need anybody's permission to talk about anything because he didn't sign an NDA because he didn't see anything. And he doesn't know anything. He got hoodwinked by people who wanted him to believe he was set up, he was groomed, and he didn't even know it. Freaking stupid idiot he is. Grush. Grush is the idiot. Mr. Catfish, how you doing, man? Mr. Catfish 2100 with a $5 super chat that says, we all have this ability to summon. I don't believe that. The key is to believe. Believe for real. I did, and I do, but it doesn't. See, you're creating a loophole that isn't real. See, that's what people say. What Mr. Catfish just said. By the way, thank you, Mr. Catfish 2100. I'm going to use you as an example because of the comment you made. No disrespect at all, okay? So don't get mad. But this is what they do. They will tell you that you don't believe. The reason you're so skeptical, Rich, you don't really believe. You don't want to believe. You can't believe. Oh, don't you dare tell me that. That is wrong. And you can't say that. The reason I can say, and I said it all the time, I just said it tonight. Maybe I'm not vibrating at the right level to talk to aliens. I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying I can't do it. Until then, I don't believe it because I don't believe people can do it and nobody can prove it. And it's the perfect loophole, which you've made a loophole too. And that's not really fair. You can't say that. Nah, you don't believe. Every day I listen to you and it's all no this, no disclosure that. Then you're not listening to anything I'm saying. I'm not saying you, Mr. Catfish. I'm saying people in general who listen to this show, who come here for 5 minutes and hear me saying something without knowing the content or the context of the conversation. You do. You know me. So you can say something like this and I'll be fine with it because I understand you. But this, I'm just talking in general. People will say that. Nobody. When I was meditating, the first 4 to 5 years I was in this field, I'm talking every single day, I was trying to reach out to aliens. In the middle of a field, nobody around for acres, with my dog, chilling out, feeling the energy of the earth in the middle of an open field. For years I did it. Never heard anything, never felt anything. However, I had some pretty freaking awesome dreams that people think were contact experiences that I'm intercepting or perceiving as dreams. So I don't know. And there were grass circles in front of my yard across the street. I still have it. I still have the pictures of the grass circles. Thank you, Mr. Catfish 2100, for the $5 super chat, and great comment to create a little bit of heat, because I don't believe everybody has the ability to summon yet. See, that's a blanket statement. You can't say that. And the key isn't to believe. That's not the key. Because I believe. And I don't. When I went into it, I did believe that there was a way that our mind works, that it is possible. Because back then, it was getting very popular that people were saying they can talk to aliens telepathically. It's been going on for decades, I know. But 18, 19 years ago, when I first got into the field, I had to try. And I tried for minimum 4 years, almost every single day. So, didn't work. I think that's an unfair answer to say that I don't believe, for real I don't believe, is why I don't make that. You know why that also doesn't work? Because if I'm doing it and I'm out there putting it out, my energy, my vibration, shouldn't something have picked up on it? 4 years minimum, from the same location pretty much, night after night after night. Yeah, there were 3 things that happened to me during those couple of years that I can't explain. That was the one where the beam in the ear, and I woke up and saw the beam retracting back into an alien's hand, and I saw the skin of the alien, saw what it looked like. And then a few nights later, the other ear was hurting, and before I could lift my head up, I heard, "I'll be in your head before you wake up." I mean, I've never before or since or after have had a dream like this, to where I wake up and feel the person's breath on my ear say, "I'll be in your head before you wake up." To this day, that blows my mind. I think about it a lot. Sometimes I wonder if we aren't who we think we are. And maybe we're controlled somehow. Have you ever seen Westworld, the HBO series? If you haven't seen it, you won't get it. Maybe you will. But for those of you who have seen Westworld, it's another world that these people built on Earth. But they made these robots that are extremely lifelike, if not exactly like us. They have mood inhibitors, they have personalities, and they can adjust them accordingly to the role that they're being played out. So more aggression on this day, less aggression on this day, more empathy on this day, less empathy on that day, and so on. So that's kind of how I feel. We may be avatars of a digital matrix reality. And sometimes have you ever played the game The Sims? You know, you can put your person to sleep for a day or have them sit in a corner for hours. You can make them happy, make them sad. It's almost like out of nowhere, we get sick. Out of nowhere, it seems like we get tired, and it's like you don't feel it sometimes. I wonder if it's because somebody's controlling every single aspect of our being except for our thoughts. So we have the illusion of free will, but it's being controlled by maybe aliens who lost their sense of emotion, and maybe they like playing with us. I don't know. All I know is something's not right. In a way, Mr. Catfish, I do believe more than anybody can imagine. I just don't know what to believe. But I believe there's something. And it's weird. The older I get, the more I'm starting to believe. And I don't know why. I'm not sure if it's just the years of doing this or the years of experiences or if it's hearing stories over time. It's starting to take its toll on me. But I almost feel like as soon as this life is over, we do get jacked back in. Into what, I have no idea. All I know is that I don't know. And anybody who says they know can't prove what they know. And every time I hear somebody who says they know, I believe less after I hear their story. That comes with years of being disappointed. I want disclosure. I want the aliens here. I want the technology more than I want the aliens. But whistleblowers aren't bringing us evidence. They're bringing us stories. And the reason this is going to keep going on, at least for another year, is because money. What? What are you talking about? Money? It always has to do with money. Money for what? Anything they want. Rich, what are you talking about? I don't know. I don't. We all think we know, but we really don't. That's the problem. It's a problem. Hold on. Let me play this for you. I was supposed to play this the other day and I didn't. What is this? I can't remember what this is. I don't know. Let me see why I have this paused right here. I'm going to play it with you. I was supposed to play this 2 days ago. The 1979 Linda Jones UFO encounter. Okay. So I guess I was just playing this for some reason. Let's see.
Shortly after, my wife, daughter and son arrived.
From Eyes on Cinema.
Very excited.
Dad, come look at the big bar in the sky.
They asked me what I thought they'd seen, and I took a wild guess and said a spaceship. And they replied, "Have you seen it also?"
8 o'clock in traffic news. Yet another lorry overturned.
Stranger things were to happen the next morning.
Do you want some toast and coffee, love?
What the hell's that on your face?
What?
Round my wife's eyes was all red, like it had been scorched, quite badly.
She's cooking. She has jelly on her face. She just was a little hungry and got a little bit excited. Gosh! I like this story. I would love to keep playing it, but I just can't. I was going to talk about it, and I guess I never did. I wanted to play this the other day, and I didn't. Yesterday. It's not just news. We're fighting for the heart of our country and what we stand for. I know some of you, half of you are going to hate this, but I'm going to play this anyway. I just want to see what mainstream media people think.
The national anthem, among other songs. I was thinking about how you, the audience on this show, my team on this show, and I are out there every day on the front lines fighting for this country. That's really what we're doing. It's not...
I feel that's what we're doing. Do you realize that? We are the front line for ufology. We're on the front lines, believe it or not. And look, I don't know when it's going to happen. Maybe in a year, maybe never, maybe in a couple. Shit, forget it. I don't know what I was going to say something. I decided not to. But we're on the front line. Who else goes on every day other than Amy in the morning that I know of and a couple other people who go at night? But I'm talking that bring you the daily news, tells you and hasn't been wrong about the narrative that's being brought to us by the people on mainstream media and or cable news. And Megyn Kelly here is kind of saying the same thing. She's trying to give the truth, but there's a side of the media that doesn't give us the truth. That's what the media used to be, about getting the truth. Maybe it's never been about that. Maybe it's just about directing a narrative to control us, to tell us what we need to think about. Which is why when I don't listen to the news, which I don't anymore, I just listen to UFO news. I try not to listen to any more Biden stuff or anything else that's going on because it's all negative. It is.
Just news. What we're doing together, why you tune in, you listen, you take time out of your busy days to listen and connect with me and the guests here is because you care too. You care.
Yep.
Otherwise, there's a million other things you could be doing, right? We're all out there fighting for the heart of our country and what we stand for, what we believe in. So I am grateful to you.
Yeah. And sentiments. I mimic those. I echo those sentiments. Yeah, you're with me on this. Whether you like it or not, you're part of the Truthology for Ufology campaign. That is Goof On. Yeah, I don't... Anyway. What's that? Bernie Muro throwing down a $1 super dono. It's a beautiful day, Bernie, with another. Oh, wow, super dono. Mucho gusto. Bernie Muroso. And, wow, is this right? Nathan on PayPal with $2.22. He says on his PayPal support, thank you, Nathan. I don't need Greer to talk to off-world people. They just won't pick up the phone. That's a gush all over the rich people on expensive psychic holidays and flares. I don't know. When did you send this? I feel like I'm a little bit... 20 minutes ago. 25. That's funny. Right, they won't pick up my phone. Maybe they don't recognize the number. That's funny, Nathan. Thank you very much. Nathan from The Quantum Show. And also, David Wilcox, not Wilcock. Thank you for the $25 on PayPal. And he says, for the hardest working man in UFO business. One of them. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. In all caps, too. Mucho gusto generoso, Mr. Wilcox. You are continuing supporter of GoofOn. Thank you. Thank you. PayPal preferred. I appreciate that. You know, that's it for tonight. Thanks, Bernie. And, we'll be back tomorrow with the new start time of 8 o'clock. So don't get mad. I know I didn't give anybody but a day. But let's say the show was still starting at 7. If you come in at 8 or at 7, you just have to wait an hour. So 8 o'clock tomorrow night, new time. And tomorrow we're going to talk about CERN, the Hadron Collider a little bit. Their discoveries that are weird. And also this mysterious building that's hiding a UFO. Also, the strangest videos, the strangest things on video. The strangest strange things on video. It'll be a good show tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, for the support. And like I said, we do it 6 nights a week here at GoofOn. We do Truthology. Truthology for ufology for you. Right? And thank you, moderators. The best. Thank you. Super chatters, newcomers, and veterans. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Huh? You need 150 likes and 50 comments. I'm going to start paying attention to the comments more now. So starting tomorrow morning, I'll be in there. I don't know what that means. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget to be kind, be safe, and alien bless.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. God have mercy on your soul. What you just said is...
Control life. Warning. Warning. Failure. Control life. Warning.
Unidentified flying object.